In this episode, I'm going to be talking about how you handle criticism. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Life in English podcast, or welcome if this is your first time. Happy to have you here. My name is Tony Kaizen, and I'm hitting the mic and shit for whatever strange reason, not paying attention. But anyway, like I said in the intro, we are going to be talking about how you handle or how you deal with what, Tony? Criticism. God damn. How you handle criticism. All right. And I just want to remind you, if you are just listening to this and you want to watch, you can find me on YouTube now at youtube.com/life in English. This is episode 97, by the way. We almost to 100. All right. We almost there. But anyway, getting to the point of the episode. Like I said a couple times already, we're going to talk about criticism. All right, so let's just get into the episode. Let's not waste any more time. Now, I was watching this video. Oh, shit. Almost forgot. If you are watching this on YouTube, just so you know, I understand that you are right here. All right, I'm looking at you and I'm talking to you. But right here is my notes, my script, and all that. So you're going to see me looking up at you and then down at my computer constantly throughout the recording, throughout the episode. So just know I have not forgotten about you. I care about you. I love you. I'm going to give you the attention that you need. But I also got to read what I wrote. You know what I'm saying? So just so you know what's going on if you are, in fact, watching this right now. All right? Now, let's get into the episode. So I was watching this video of a martial arts coach talking to his student during an MMA fight. And just in case you don't know, MMA stands for Mixed Martial Arts. Like jiu-jitsu and judo and karate and boxing and Muay Thai all mixed together in one fighting competition. Like UFC, for example, is an MMA competition, right? So this fighter, apparently she was making a bunch of poor decisions and losing the fight. Now, in professional MMA fights, you have what we call breaks in between rounds, at which point the fighters go back to their corners and they talk to their coaches, right? They get guidance or advice, stuff like that. Now, the coach of this fighter was being brutally honest, to say the least. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the video. I didn't save it at the time, so I can't play it for you right now. But he was basically telling her that she was doing a terrible job. She was making stupid decisions. She was running away from the other fighter, and she was going to lose the fight if she didn't do what her coach told her to do and start fighting differently. Now, it was an interesting video to watch because the fighter didn't really seem to get her feelings hurt by what the coach was telling her. You know what I'm saying? Now, I've met a lot of people who would be destroyed if they received that level of brute honesty and criticism that I saw in this video. Even if the criticism was coming from a well-meaning place or a well-intentioned place. But the woman in this video was just kind of like looking at the floor and nodding her head to show that she understood what the coach was saying. And above the video was the title, "Was this downright mean or absolutely necessary?" Like referring to the way the coach was speaking to his fighter, you know? And all this made me think, that's exactly how I would want somebody to talk to me if I was fucking up, you know? Like, I appreciate what most people refer to as brute honesty or brutal honesty. And it's funny that terms like that even exist, right? Like, it's funny when someone says, he was very honest. He was very honest, or she was brutally honest with everyone. Because honesty is just honesty, right? The truth is the truth. I don't really see how you can be kind of truthful with somebody. I mean, I know what people mean to say when they say something like brutally honest. Most of the time, the idea is that you can tell the truth without being an asshole, right? For example, let's stay on topic and talk about the fighter. Imagine I'm the coach and I say, you're losing this fight. Your positioning is terrible. Your left hand is weak. You keep making stupid takedowns and you're getting tired way too quickly. Now imagine I'm the coach and I say this. You're losing this fight. You need to position yourself better. Remember, your right hand is stronger. And avoid going for the takedown if there isn't a real opportunity. Remember to control your breathing so you don't get tired so quickly. I've expressed the same idea in both scenarios, but in the first one, I'm saying, or how can I say this? In the first scenario, people might say that I'm being brutally honest or even an asshole in some cases. In the second scenario, I focused on how she can improve and not what she's doing wrong, you know? I don't know about you, but like I said before, I prefer scenario number one. I really dislike it when people sugarcoat things or try to find diplomatic ways to tell me something negative. And just in case you don't know, the term sugarcoat, it basically means to find a polite, non-offensive way to say something negative. So to kind of give you an idea of where this comes from, imagine we have something like a cookie with no sugar, no frosting, no sprinkles, nothing, just dough, just cookie dough, and you cook that. It's probably not going to have the best flavor because there's nothing sweet. There's nothing attractive about it, nothing that makes it taste good. But if I coat it in sugar, if I put sugar all over the cookie, it's much more pleasant to eat that cookie, swallow it, and digest it. So now coming back to the context of like a message, if I sugarcoat a message, if I put sprinkle all over it and make it sweet, it's much easier for the person that's listening to receive that message, process it, digest it, and all that because I have sugarcoated my message. I found like a polite, diplomatic, non-offensive way of saying you fucking suck, you know? So instead of saying that, I could say you could use some improvement in this area, you know, it wasn't bad, right? It was okay. Yeah, it was nice, okay? You know, maybe we can improve some things over here. I'm sugarcoating the fact that you fucking suck. All right, now maybe that's not the best example, but I just thought of it now. So hopefully you get the idea. But anyway, like I said, I don't like it when people discoat. I don't like it when people sugarcoat messages or things that they have to say to me. Because the way I see it, like I'm a big boy and I can handle like hearing words that aren't so nice. It's really not a big deal, at least to me. Especially if it's coming from someone that I know has my best interest at heart. They just want to see me, you know, they're only criticizing me because they just want to see me do better. You know what I'm saying? Now, obviously, I'm not saying that I would like to be insulted or humiliated or criticized deconstructively. But if I'm fucking up, I'd like to know about it. You feel me? And I don't need to be talked to like a baby in order to understand or to be able to listen to what's being said. Like, just tell me like it is. Am I making sense? I hope so. But what I do know is that this can be a challenge for a lot of people. It can be a challenge for people to criticize others in a direct way, and even harder for people to deal with direct criticism. Some of us can be really sensitive and get our feelings hurt when someone says something negative about us or they tell us we're doing a terrible job. It takes a certain level of like self-knowledge and strength of character to be able to sit and listen to harsh criticism objectively without taking things personally and getting our feelings hurt. But I believe that if you can manage to do this, you'll find a lot more opportunities to grow as a person. Even if the criticism is coming from someone you don't like or respect or know and appreciate, I still think it's useful to consider what that person is saying and ask yourself if it's true or not. Some of the most constructive criticism I've ever received came from people I didn't really like or respect at all. But after reflecting on what they said about me, I realized that there was some truth to what they were saying and that I had a lot of room for improvement in myself and my life. But everyone's different though, right? My ex-girlfriend, for example, she didn't handle my style of criticism very well. I tend to be a very direct person, and I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking. Especially if we have like an established relationship and a good level of trust, I'm going to just tell you like it is. You know, that's just how I am. Now, this has caused many problems over the years because for a long time, I didn't know about the art of communication. I didn't know that there's more than one way to say something. And I didn't consider the fact that people have different communication styles, which means everyone can receive the same message in a different way. So being able to tailor or adjust or change my communication style is an extremely important skill to have. you know? But anyway, back to my ex-girlfriend. I learned a lot from her, you know? One of the things I really appreciated, one of the things I really appreciated about her was that she was a really sensitive girl, but she wasn't dramatic at all. She was sensitive, but not dramatic. And what I mean when I say that is she felt things very strongly. She got her feelings hurt quite easily, but she wouldn't overreact or like play the victim in those situations. Sometimes she wouldn't even tell me that her feelings were hurt, you know? I appreciated the fact that she was very careful with her choice of words. She was very slow to make assumptions or to criticize, and she was really open-minded, you know? She would take a lot of time to consider and process things before she would tell me what she really thought. Now, on the other hand, I was and sometimes still am very quick to assume, criticize, and say what I was thinking. And as I said before, this has caused me a lot of problems in life. And I hurt a lot of people's feelings, including my ex-girlfriends, quite often. And to be honest, I didn't care. I didn't care. Like in my mind, I was telling the truth and I was saying what I really thought, and I wasn't interested in how people felt about that. However, I learned over time, mainly with my ex, that I was just being an asshole. My ex taught me like how important it was to slow down and consider things from the other person's perspective before even taking the time to consider my own. Where was I at? I lost my place. Okay. She explained to me why my style of communication simply isn't for everyone, and many times it can be counterproductive. Now, I remember one day she told me, I know you're the type of person that gets motivated to be better and prove people wrong when they criticize you and talk shit about you, and you think everyone else should be that way. But I'm not like that. When you criticize me, telling me everything I'm doing wrong and that what I'm doing isn't good enough, it just makes me want to try even less. It completely demotivates me. I already don't feel good about myself. I already don't believe in myself. And here I am trying to do something. And all you're telling me is that it's not good enough. All you have to say is negative things. And you think it's going to motivate me to do better, but I'm not like you. She actually had to tell me that more than once before I truly understood and started applying that in my communication with her. But I tell you what, I'll never forget it again. She made me realize that I had a lot of growing to do as a person if I truly wanted to be a great communicator, husband, father, business owner, friend, or person in general. And although I still believe that there are times when being cold and direct is useful, I now understand that criticism typically doesn't result in anything good. And most of the time, it's counterproductive. The person you're criticizing usually ends up resentful, defensive, and liking or trusting you even less than before. So if I can leave you with one thing, it would be this. Communication is the foundation of everything we do in life. Without the proper communication skills, you will struggle in more ways than you can imagine. Without the proper communication skills, you may never get to where you want to be in life. Understand that criticism has its place, but it also has its methods. And not, oh, I fucked that up. You know what? I'm going to just start the whole thing over because I like this last paragraph. I want to get it right. All right? Let's do that again. If I can leave you with one thing, it would be this. Communication is the foundation of everything we do in life. With the proper communication skills or without the proper communication skills, Tony Kaizen, fucking up for number 2. Take 3. Communication is the foundation of everything we do in life. Without the proper communication skills, you will struggle in more ways than you can imagine. Without the proper communication skills, you may never get to where you want to be in life. Understand that criticism has its place, but it also has its methods. And if and when you receive criticism one day, try your best to take it objectively, not personally. You will always have room to grow as a person. And sometimes your greatest growth opportunities will come from the most unexpected places. That's it for now, my friend. If you've made it to the end, as always, I'd like to thank you for your time and your attention. I hope you enjoyed this episode. This is the Life in English podcast. I'm your host, Tony Kaizen, and I'll talk to you later. Peace.